In the interest of balance, let's show you, it's not universal discuss. Let me show you that this is from a Frank Luntz focus group that Vice aired.
And let's be real. It was a different world. 40 years ago in Alabama, people could get married at 13 and 14 years old. My grandmother at 13 was married. At 15, had 2 children and a husband and a job. If Roy Moore was guilty, if he was at the mall hitting on this 14-year-old, 40 years ago in Alabama, there's a lot of mamas and daddies that'd be thrilled that their 14-year-old was getting hit on by a district attorney.
Steve Schmidt.
I'm just trying to suppress my aneurysm.
You and Frank Luntz. I've never seen Frank Luntz break face.
I mean, 40 years ago was 1977, right? 13 and 14-year-olds were not getting married in Alabama in 1977. They weren't. This is a credibly accused child molester who's on the precipice of being elected to the United States Senate. And look, for the state of Alabama, this is a seminal event. I say this in my day job as the vice chairman of the largest public relations firm in the world. There's not enough money in Alabama to fix the brand Alabama problem should Roy Moore be elected. They have a multi-billion-dollar investment possibly from the Toyota Corporation. I suspect that goes to North Carolina. Direct investments in the aerospace industry, other companies. Alabama, from an investment perspective, will be anathema. The Republicans, and we have seen this staggering hypocrisy on the religious right, the Jerry Falwell Jr.'s, the Franklin Graham's, the indecency of all of this, the attacks on the women, not to mention Roy Moore, twice removed from the bench for failure to follow lawful orders, someone who talks about the good old days of slavery, someone who by any reasonable definition is a legitimate Christian theocrat. He doesn't subscribe to a pluralistic nation, a constitution that protects religious liberties. He's an extremist through and through, and he will bring the Republican Party low. And think about this. It's the Vice President of the United States as President of the Senate who swears in new members of the Senate. Imagine, it's like a nuclear fission moment of hypocrisy, right, as Mike Pence gets to stand there, right, and swearing in to the United States Senate this credibly accused child molester, should Alabamians make that decision tomorrow. If we were able to look at this through time-lapse photography over the course of the year, we start out with a blanket denial that there's no collusion, nobody talked to a Russian, no one knew a Russian, there were no Russians anywhere around. We know a year later, literally everyone and everybody involved in this campaign knows a Russian, met with a Russian, had meetings to receive word from a Russian.
Book deal about Russians.
Right, there's everyone. Roy Moore speaks fluent Russian. There's Russians everywhere. A year later, it's moving closer into the Oval Office. And in any administration, the indictment of the National Security Advisor would be a titanic event, but enormous. And what we know for sure is that the deal that the special counsel gave to Flynn means that he's looking to haul a bigger fish out of the ocean. And the thing about Flynn is he's a pretty big fish. That's a big, giant, 500-pound marlin on the end of the line. So when he's looking for the bigger fish, there's only a couple of people that it could potentially be. That's the significance of where we are, what we know in this investigation. And now that they are looking inside this window, that we know that, gives us a little bit more information to assess how close this is, how proximate it is to the President of the United States, to the Oval Office. And also, as was pointed out by a guest on air earlier, it's not just what did the President know and when did he know it, it's who did the President direct and what did he direct them to do? And I think we're moving closer to answers to all of those questions.
Jeremy.